Hi, it's Pam Triolo, and we are in the kitchen, in my kitchen to be exact, and we're gonna make a great recipe with our fresh ingredients from the farmer's market. We're talking farm to table, so let's use the freshest ingredients, right? Today's recipe is an Italian favorite of mine, escarole and beans, scarole and fagioli. You know what I'm saying? You can use cannellini beans, that's the easiest way, and actually the easiest way is to use them in the can. Very simple. You can rinse them off or use the liquid that's in it. That's okay too. Or you can, of course, soak your cannellini beans, the fresh ones, overnight and then cook them up so they're ready for your recipe, whichever you prefer. The scarole, this is what it looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. Some people think it's a little bit bitter. It's not. It's perfect when it's cooked. And we're gonna show you how to cook it a couple of different ways today. Along with our beans and escarole, we're gonna need some chicken stock, or if you wanna do it the true vegan way, some vegetable stock. You're gonna need about 2 cups of that, about 3 cloves of garlic. We've got some crushed red pepper, salt and pepper to taste, and I throw in a little bit of oregano and a little bit of basil. You can pretty much do this in one pot, or if you wanna make it soup, or you wanna make it pasta, yes, we're gonna use ditalini pasta. It's a little tube-shaped pasta. And of course, the fresh Italian bread is for the sopping. Let's go to the stove. This is the ditalini pasta. You can see it's a very thin, small tube, and they cut it into even smaller pieces. Kind of similar to an elbow macaroni without the curves. We're gonna throw this into our salted boiling water. You don't have to stir it constantly, but make sure you check it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. First thing we're gonna do is add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, maybe 3. It's a big pan. Then we're going to add our garlic. Again, this is about 3 of the larger size cloves. And we're gonna let this brown very gently for about a minute or so. Remember, you never wanna cook garlic too much in the oil, because if it gets really well done, it's gonna be very, very bitter and make your whole dinner ruined, so don't do that. All right, this is perfect. It hasn't gotten too well done. Turning it down to medium. And now we're gonna put in our escarole and some parsley. I like a little mixture of the two of them. You feel that? A little chicken stock. This is 2 cups, okay? I'm gonna add this in so we don't spark up here. And I'll put the escarole in. This is 2 heads of escarole. If you've ever noticed, you ever cook, I don't know, collard greens or spinach, sometimes you can use the biggest bag of greens that you've ever seen, right? Like all of this, wait till you see how much it cooks up to. So go for more when it comes to cooking greens for a meal. This should probably feed about 4 people when it cooks down. So let's see how it comes out. We're gonna make sure that we get it in there. You're not gonna be able to stir it for a while without knocking everything out of your pot. So, got it a little bit lower. I'm gonna take the top and I'm gonna put it on it so we get it wilted down a little bit faster. Okay, we're a little bit wilted now. We've got a little further to go. But first thing I wanna do now that it's manageable in my pan, I wanna take some seasonings. Key part, crushed red pepper. I like just about a pinch. What is a pinch, Pam? I don't know. You can pinch it with your fingers and then you throw it in. I've got a little bit of salt, a little crushed red pepper. I'm sorry, black pepper. And you can use fresh basil leaves. I just have a little bit of dried I'm gonna add. And I like a little oregano in mine. I like my pasta fazool with a little oregano. And I forgot to pick that up at the market, so I'm using some dried. I'm just gonna stir this together now. And I'm going to add my beans. Here we go, folks. Add my cannellini beans. Ooh. When you cook these down nicely, they get so nice and creamy. Here we go. And remember, we always want to salt to taste and season to taste, so we'll taste along the way. Trust me, it's the best part of cooking. Well, I've got my seasoning just perfect. Not too spicy, but you still feel a little heat. Salt is right on. We're good. The tenderness of the escarole is perfect. I'm gonna turn this off And now we're gonna get ready to plate it up. Remember, this is for pasta or for sopping. I've got 2 cups of chicken stock in here, or again, you can use vegetable stock. If you wanna make a soup out of it, add a little more broth, and just remember you'll have to increase your seasonings. Now the escarole is just perfectly tender and the beans are intact. Nothing worse than a mushy bean, right? Now, I normally would, because I'm making pasta, throw the pasta in here, add a little bit at a time, and let it absorb all that liquid. But because I'm making it 3 ways for you, you can have half the amount of pasta and add more stock and make it soup, or you could just not have the pasta at all and just sop it up with some of that beautiful Italian bread. So here we go for the pasta. And as always, I like to season with a little Locatelli Pecorino Romano. There's nothing like it. And here we go with our Escarole and fagioli. And don't forget, take this and make sure you get all that good liquid. This, a nice glass of wine. Mangia bene.